Hello. Next up, we have Mamy Ratsimbazafy, who is going to talk about how restaking improves based rollup user experience.
Hi everyone, I'm Mamy Ratsimbazafy. I'm the ZK engineering lead at Taiko. And Taiko is a based boosted rollup. Internally we call that BBR or BRR. Okay, so what's the agenda today? First of all, we'll start with the challenges of scaling Ethereum. I'll talk then about based rollups and based L1 validators. Few people have heard about based rollups yet. It's a blog post on ETH research by Justin Drake, and it's about how we can skip sequencers and have L1 validators directly participate in L2 and also accumulate value from the value created on L2. Then I'll go over a refresher about restaking. So restaking has been a big topic and will be a big topic at DevConnect. So just a quick refresher. And I'll go over combining both based rollups and restaking to have a super powered rollup that provides all the UX from centralized sequencer and the decentralization as well. Okay. So challenges of scaling Ethereum. I guess everyone knows about the blockchain trilemma. It's there to remind you of what it is. It's about you cannot combine, theoretically, secure, decentralized, or scalable. Well, it's not really theoretically. It's more that it's very, very hard. And so far, Ethereum has been in between secure and decentralized, and the consequence was it's slow, 12 TPS, maybe 16 TPS with some improvement, and the scalability in I think 2020 or 2020, there was this rollup-centric roadmap to provide scalability through rollup. The issue is that now we have an issue of rollup decentralization. There are two things that need to be decentralized for rollup. Number one is what's called data availability. Data availability is to allow anyone to reconstruct the transactions that allowed a rollup to attain a certain state. This will be solved after EIP 4844, which is the next hard fork, Cancun and Deneb, one on the execution side and the other on the consensus side. The last one that's not decentralized yet is ordering of transactions. I assume you heard about MEV. This is a very, very important component of decentralization, and we have had a couple of design so far. At first, centralized sequencers. Now, the teams doing centralized sequencers are adding a escape hatch to force transactions on L1, even if the centralized sequencer is failing, for example. And we had a couple of failures over the years. And the last one is decentralized sequencers, things that teams like Espresso or Astria are researching. The other part of the impact that scalability has, if you want to scale, is thinking about liveness. So what makes your network resilient? How many validators do you have? Currently on the consensus chain, the Beacon chain, you have almost 900,000 validators. Any rollups that launch right now, I don't think they can reach almost 900,000 fast enough. And the thing is, with staking, there is so much value to get from staking. Can layer 2 also reach that point? The other thing is economic security. So if you do a sequencer, centralized, decentralized, at one point you likely want to have a custom token, but this is a loss because you have less economic security than Ethereum. So how do you fix that? You use something called based rollups. Based rollups. So there is, it comes from a research post from Justin Drake from the Ethereum Foundation. He called that superpowers from L1 sequencing. So I'll highlight the definition. A rollup is said to be based or L1 sequenced when its sequencing is driven by the base L1. So L1 validators, the Ethereum consensus. More concretely, a base rollup is one where the next L1 proposer may, in collaboration with L1 searchers and builders, permissionlessly include the next rollup block as part of the L1 block. What does it mean? It means no sequencer. This has been also described by Vitalik in a blog post. It's called rollup, and you can search for total anarchy. Anyone can propose any rollup block at any time. Full decentralization. So, what are those superpowers that Justin Drake mentions? First one, decentralization, as decentralized as L1 validators. No sequencers, no external consensus, no escape hatch, no single point of failures. You need, if you want to stop the rollup, you need to stop 900,000 validators. Liveness, as live as the Ethereum Beacon chain. And you have a lot of people, at the previous talk, they talked about monitoring the L1 validator set. You don't have to redo any of this infrastructure for base rollups. Another point is credible neutrality. You have no doubt about decentralization. I know, I've been saying decentralization, I think, 10 times in the past 10 seconds. No censoring power, and you know that compared to a centralized rollup, we, like Tyco, for example, but any other this base rollup, cannot extract MEV. It's in the MEV is accumulated by the L1 validators. But it's not a walled garden. So you can still create a custom sequenced app, for example, an order book for DEX. And finally, it's the most Ethereum aligned. You get all the three parts, security, decentralization, and scalability. Let's focus a bit on the economics of a base rollup. So in terms of MEV, you have three kinds. One is the congestion fees, so what's burned in EIP 1559. This stays on L2, and currently on Ethereum, this is like 80% of the fees goes to MEV. Goes to EIP 1559 fees. Then you have two types of MEV. One is the toxic MEV, the thing that's called front running, sandwich attacks. This is like half-half with arbitrage when you have a difference between Oracle price between ETH and USDC, for example. Front-running MEV, I think in the long term, is going down to zero. Why? Because you have people doing Uniswap X. You have encrypted transaction pools. For the end user, removing the toxic MEV is really, really important. So there is a trade-off. When you do a base rollup, you accumulate less fees, but still you keep the congestion fees. Now, maybe you might ask me, but what's the point of a rollup if it's congested? Well, we hope that the more, so there is this paradox that says if you build a road, soon with the new capacity, people will come and it will be congested again. Hopefully we can continue building because a rollup is way less expensive to deploy and to scale compared to new roads. And I already mentioned that the economic security depends on ETH and not on the rollup token. You have a lot more info on ETH research, and we did with Justin Drake, Espresso, that are doing a decentralized sequencer, Flashbots, Nevermind, a Twitter space in October that you can check out. It's on YouTube to know more about Bez rollups. So, gives you everything. Shut up and take my money. Actually, it doesn't give you everything, but I mentioned restaking first. So restaking, a very short refresher. It allows L1 stakers to reuse their stake. So either node runners can reuse their stake by changing the withdrawal address to a smart contract. For example, EigenLayer uses EigenPod. Or you can use liquid staking tokens like Lido or Rocket Pool or Coinbase stake token to for restaking for a base rollup. How? So with restaking, you have additional rules, slashing conditions, but you get in exchange additional rewards. What do you secure for base rollup? So the idea is to combine both restaking and base rollup to give you all of what a centralized sequencer can do. One of the main issues with base rollup is that, and decentralized sequencer, is that you cannot guarantee when transactions will be included into the L1 block. So when is my transactions? People want to know your transactions will come in 12 seconds. Will come, maybe, oh, it's delayed, the gas price went up, it will come in a minute or more. So the last weapon in the base rollup arsenal is called base pre-confirmation. And basically, you have L1 proposer commit to include a transaction in a block, and they use that by, they commit to that with their restaked ETH. And if they don't include the block, maybe because they went offline, they are slashed. Otherwise, they get rewarded with more. And now, the base rollup can now display an ETA, just like centralized sequencer that have full control over the ordering. Now, what's next? I think most of you could know MEV Boost from Flashbot, which is an implementation of proposer builder separation. Well, with base rollups and restaking, we can do a pre-conf boost, a pre-confirmation market, so that validators compete for providing pre-confirmation for all the transactions on the layer 2, which will be, I guess, a key innovation for some of the DeFi things. The other thing is SSLE, Secret Share Leader Election, so that you have privacy for proposer, but also for pre-confirmers. And in terms of MEV, I also mentioned this in the past, front-running toxic MEV is going down anyway. So base rollup will be really aligned with Ethereum without giving up too much of economics. And that's it. If you have questions, feel free to ask.
Questions? Okay, if there are no questions, thank you very much. Next speaker is in